Right then. Hello chat. Welcome to my sort of 11:15, we'll call it, not 11 o'clock live stream. How's everyone doing? How are we faring this fine? I think it's Friday. Where are we? Friday, 10th of July. How's everybody getting on? What kind of tissues are good for a bunch of crying sons? I'm going to say Kleenex man-sized. Although they're not allowed to be called man-sized, are they? Because that's like misogynist and it's not... women can use man-sized tissues too, so I think they just called them extra large or something now. I don't even know. What are these? Yes, they're literally these Kleenex, what used to be called man-sized tissues, are now called Kleenex extra large, which is yes, very interesting. So yes, welcome everyone. I'm just going to turn that soundtrack down just a teeny weeny bit more, just so it's very, very background. Big woman sized, yeah, that's it. So yeah, hello, Eve Killer there says, hey Q, been trying to catch you live, I'm guessing for ages, and now I finally have, so hello. So yes, welcome one, welcome all to the bathroom stall, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to be playing... Yeah, I've just had a bowl of cereal, so I've got the burps. The pathetic burps. The Karens of the world revolted, so you can't call them man-sized. It's true. Although we can't use the word Karen. It's a protected term now. But yes, anyway, this game, Crying Sons. This was recommended to me last night, right? And instantly, there was upon looking at the game, there was a huge plus. And I forget the name of the company that makes this. I might be wrong in saying that the company is called Alt Shift. They had a free demo that you can play. If you search for Crying Sons on Steam, you get a demo, which is like the first world, the first level that you can play to see if you like the game before you buy it. That is an instant e-penis. That is bigger ek for like gaming companies in the 21st century. That is very nice. So yeah, if you do kind of like the look of this game, do feel free to go and give the demo a play and see whether it's something you would be interested in buying. I have played the first couple of missions to see whether I liked the gameplay, because the problem with jumping into a stream game, particularly blind, is that you don't know whether you're going to enjoy it, you don't know whether you're going to like it, and you could be sitting here for 2 hours miserable. So it's nice being able to jump in to a game that you've already had a little bit of a play on. At least to see the base combat and base mechanics and stuff, which is very nice. I haven't heard of this game before. It's very good. I love, right, first things first, in a genre, I love dystopian future, right? I love, like, not this, like, gleaming, everything's chrome in the future. I want things to be black, dark, bleak, a struggle on the outer rim. I want the daily grasping for air to be the most laborious, drawn out. I want surviving in space to be hard. I want it. I love the kind of grim, dark, horrible dystopian future. A bit almost like if you've ever watched The Expanse, the Belters, that kind of existence of being out in the outer rim. And there's a little bit of that going on here. From playing the first couple of bits, you'll notice themes very much drawn from Alien, the Ridley Scott universe. You'll see the drone there on the screen, those kind of spindly arms. You'll be able to draw parallels between different sci-fi universes that have clearly inspired this game, which isn't a bad thing. We're all allowed inspiration from other universes, hence why the fact every fantasy game in the world has got Tolkien's elves, orcs, and dwarves in. But yeah. It could have even gone beyond Tolkien, to be fair. It could have been well before him, but who knows? That's the thing. So yeah, let us rock and roll. I like grimdark everything. Grimdank, grimdark, that's the one. So Warhammer 40k, it's a bit like... It's very much like The Expanse, actually, the TV series. In that there's... Well, I'll let the game do the explaining. It does a very good job of building the world around you, and we'll see as we go in. What I will say is that this game is very dialogue-driven, okay? This isn't like FTL where it's pure combat. There is a world and a story here, which means combat is second to... It's obviously the main part of the gameplay and how, obviously, you enjoy the game, but the actual world building and the story building is really where this game sells itself as it looks to be in the first couple of chapters. I appreciate it might be just because I was new, air quotes, but we'll have a good look at it and we'll see how we get on. I'm hoping that because I've already played it, I'm hoping you guys get to see some of the intro cutscenes and stuff that I've already seen playing the demo. I bought the deluxe edition because I wanted access to the soundtrack for streaming. So I've got like a digital arts book as well, which I might have a flick through later. So yeah. Just before we get in, a nice rain check on people. How is everyone doing? Are we doing well? First ever game I crowdfunded. Oh, there you go. Crying Sons is out of EA? I guess it is. Good copy, bad original. What's that? Esperiatos, I'm not sure. What do we think? How are we getting on? Soundtrack's very weird sounding. I do like it though. Doing fine, thanks. Hoping today is good. No worries. Glad to hear, Drake.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Flaming Pan there for the 22 months. Good to have you in, sir. Welcome. Right. How's it, Q? Q? It's not too bad. Not too bad on my end. Not too bad on your end, Beadle. Did you win last night? No, we lost. We managed to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory on FTL last night. Without giving too much away, to be fair, I've given it away already, but basically, we got salvoed, we got like a huge boarding party coming onto the ship in the end. Like it was the third and final stage of the boss, and we had a huge boarding party come on, and I didn't really have any anti-boarding countermeasures. I didn't have any doors, heavy blast doors. I didn't have any like Mantis crew members, people dedicated to anti-boarding, really, apart from an NG, which literally couldn't be worse. So our ship got totally overwhelmed, and I had to retreat into the airlock. I had to retreat into, my med bay system where I vent air out of the rest of the ship and then just fight in the med bay. The problem was that the enemy missile salvos from the ship managed to destroy my bloody oxygen generator, and it meant that because I'd vented all of the air out of the ship to go and repair everything. I'd vented all of the air out of the ship so that I could defeat the boarding action. It meant that there was no oxygen in the ship to repair anything, and it just wrote us off. By that point on the third boss fight, there are no safe nodes. We tried to jump out of the boss fight so that we could do repairs, like jump to a close node. But at that point, in the third and final stage, all of the nodes in the system are encompassed by heavy rebel fleets. So you don't get any respite from it, basically. So yeah, we were in big sad. But no, it was a really good run for our first time in the Rock Cruiser, so I couldn't even be salty. It was a really good run, really good try. Just didn't quite get the victory, but what can you do? Anyway, let's actually open the game, shall we? I'm going to kill the soundtrack, and we're going to load the game up. I'm going to switch us to the blank capture window. I haven't actually tested it with the capture window, because that would be requiring more brain cells than Joe has in a single sitting. We are going to try, and I'm hoping this doesn't open up the demo, because I guess I have both. I don't know whether it uninstalls the demo. It looks like it's the full game now. I'm going to click play. I'm going to see if it hooks in, and then we can go from there. Let's see how we do. I've got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of pixel art style. I don't like pixel-based games. It's just a preference. I don't like it as a visual style. It's cool, I guess, but just doesn't tickle the neurons in my brain kind of thing, my brain cells. It just doesn't gel with them. But this one I actually really like. So, I've got like a continue game because I've tested it. We're going to do the introduction cutscene again, just so you guys can see what's going on. But as you can see, very grim, dystopian, industrial future. And I love that as a setting, so I feel like I'm going to enjoy this quite a bit. So strap yourselves in. Again, I'm going to reiterate that there is a demo available for this game on Steam, totally free of charge. You get access to the first chapter, I believe, Echoes. I'm not sure how many chapters there are, or indeed whether you get access to the full chapter, but there is a demo so you can at least experience some gameplay, which is nice. Thank you very much, Sans Jr. Good to see you back, mate, for 23 months. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, so let's jump on in and enjoy the game for what it is. I think the game might be just a smidge loud while I remember. So let me see if I can just ever so slightly make it so that my voice isn't totally drowned out by the background effects, and then we can jump on in here. So, introduction cutscene. Right, so we get into the actual dialogue portion of this. So yeah, as you can see, very, very Matrix vibe. It is right. You'll see inspiration from the Matrix. You'll see inspiration from Ridley Scott's Alien. Big Alien. So yeah, it's nice. Obviously, inspiration from various different sci-fi dystopian world-building futures. It's very, very, very cool. But it does an alright job of spinning its own yarn alongside that. There is quite a lot of story here, and we will discover that as we go on. We're going to explore all the dialogue options, go all the way through everything that there is to offer, because this game appreciates the fact that there is an extensive world out there, and it does try to inform you, and it kind of builds you relearning this knowledge into the game, and you'll see what I mean. Where did you hear from this game, or where did I hear of this game? I actually got this recommended to me when I was playing FTL last night. A few people, a good number of people, everyone from Jag to a couple of people in chat. Jag Zero, someone who I watch streaming, they all basically said, if you like FTL, you should give this game a go. And I can see where they were going now that I've done a little bit of combat, and it's nice. It is nice, and we'll go through it as best we can. War of the Worlds vibe, a little bit of that, yeah, I like that. But yeah, you'll see lots of inspiration from different films, different books, different series, different games with regards to its world building, and it comes together in a nice coercive fashion. I don't feel like it's just ripping off. I feel like it's, a nice construction of a nice unique storytelling perspective from this point. It's very good. You were just recommending it about 20 times over. Sorry, you were recommended it about 20 times over the last year. Just so you know. I don't remember. It's all gone blank. So, a guy called Ellis Idaho has just been, I'm guessing, thawed out? Cryo? Not entirely sure. We can click to advance dialogue and I shall narrate. So it's, where am I? A dwarf planet on the outer rim called Gehenna. If they, most call it Gehenna, sorry, if they call it anything. Keep read, ahoy. This, Admiral, is a top-secret cloning facility for the Imperial Forces, the one and only of its kind. I am Caliban, its Omni Guardian. I don't understand. You have died, Admiral, or to put it another way, the true version of you has died. You are his clone, identical to the original Ellis Idaho in every possible way, with some minor differences. When did Admiral Idaho die? How? Unfortunately, I do not know the details of my clones' lives, as interesting as they must be, extraneous to my directives, I believe. Which leads me to why I've awoken you. You must be curious after all. I need your help. A machine asking for my help? Now I truly feel strange, yeah, I'm sure you do. Not just a machine, Admiral, an Omni, short for Omni Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. Emperor Oberon... Oberon? Game of Thrones vibes. Invented us. Now your kind relies on us for just about everything. I'll come right out with it. I believe the Empire is in danger. In danger? What's in the name of Oberon are you talking about? Big kick. Once every 4 years, under the most secretive of protocols, I receive a single transmission from Elysium. Elysium? Elysium. I want to call it Elysium. 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 I mean, I am right. Our capital. Love the Dune-inspired opening. I've never played Dune. It did say that it was heavily inspired by Dune, but I've not played that before, so I have no input on that, unfortunately. Those transmissions stopped arriving. So you send a transmission yourself, I don't see the problem. That's just it, so I can't. This facility was built in such a way to prevent it from initializing contact with the Empire, to help keep it a secret. Something is wrong, I am certain of it, and I've awoken you so that we can fly out there in an Omega-class battleship, no less, and see for ourselves. But we? I believe you'll find my intelligence indispensable for our mission, Admiral. I don't have your kind's limitations. If you're so smart, what do you need me for? Why don't you command the battleship? Because of Oberon's Rubicon, it prohibits Omnis from commanding battleships. War is a human prerogative. That's true. Also, since I can assume the clones here are the best of the best, that would make you the best Imperial Admiral to ever exist. I'd say you're perfect for the job. No pressure then. No pressure, Joe. No pressure. Drink of water. Let me go get a water. If I'm the best of the best, humanity's in trouble. Oh, it's in trouble. Yeah, it is a bit like that, Screwed. It is a bit like that. Right, fresh bottle of water in tow. Have a drink of that. We'll pretend it's like nutrition paste or something. Really get in the mood. I'll do it, machine, for Oberon and the Empire. It's my duty as an Imperial Admiral. Excellent. Now just one more thing. Standard operating procedure requires I ask. Can you recall any of your emotional memories? Emotional memories? Any memories linked to a strong emotional like, love or hate. These memories, because of their complex neural pathways, will be a bit trickier for you to access, I'm afraid. I'm not sure. Then, if you would do me the honour of trying to recall one, any emotional memory will do. I can't. So much is blurred but broken apart. Don't worry, Admiral. Perfectly normal for this stage. You'll find rational memories, on the other hand, those linked to Idaho's training and combat experience, almost immediately accessible. Just ask if you need a refresher. Lastly, and this is important, if these emotional memories return, rather when they return, you must tell me immediately. It is important for your safety. Yes, safety. Do you understand? Big don't trust. Big no trust. I understand. Perfect. Now let's wake up the rest of the crew, shall we? We don't have a moment to waste. And please, Admiral. What is it, machine? Call me Caliban. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Crying Suns. So we're going to go with a new run, obviously. Are you sure you want to start a new run? Your previous run will be lost and your selected officer's growth gauge will be reset to 0. I will confirm that for the sake of starting a new one. Is it going to do the intro cutscene again? Yes, okay. So we can skip that. Need to try again. Ask Caliban for a reminder on what's happened up until this point. Can you fill me in on what's happened up until this point? We started to explore the Outer Rim because I feared the Empire was in danger. Strangely, I wasn't detecting any Omnis in its sectors, then we ran into those strange murderous creatures that destroyed our battleship and killed us. Your mind download is complete, Admiral. Ready to try again? Let's continue... Customize crew and battle... Yeah, okay, so basically get started. What was that thing that killed us? I'm uncertain, Admiral, but it had an easy time doing it. Okay. So, this I know very little about. I have an Excelsior class battleship. The rest of these are unlocked in locked in various different chapters. The upgrade levels on these ships represent different things that can be upgraded. I do not know how to upgrade them. Our core system here in Gehenna's tech improved squadrons reparation time while in the hangar by minus 50%, so we get good stuff for that. We also get some starting units. We get fighters, frigates, drones, and this other packet of drones here. I'm not entirely sure what it's about. It looks damaged at the very least. And also a Mark I laser system. There's a lot going on here. And I'll try my best to narrate as I go, but I don't know all of it. It's a bit weird. We've got Neo-N fuel, which is basically like... It's basically FTL fuel, if you like. We've also got scrap, which we're familiar with FTL, and we've also got commandos, which are a special resource for boarding actions. So yeah, you get scrap to upgrade them. Good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose our 2 officers. Now, I don't believe I can rename these, which is big sad. I believe they're all locked in as normal here. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to click Info. Right, so systems compatible. It's still very loud. I'm just going to turn it down just a little bit more. Right, so these icons represent the battleship's main systems. An officer needs to be assigned to a system compatible with their special ability to use it. In case of critical damages in a battleship system, all officers in the system will repair it with no compatibility issues. Lovely. Skills are used to resolve situations both on planetary expeditions and during events. It is often a good idea to maximize the number of different skills you have amongst your officers. So you've got to get someone who's either compatible with hull, squadrons or weapons, and then they have different skills in those areas, as I understand. So, let's have a look. So this person is proficient in weapons, Isaac Varen. We've also got Catalina Hussein, who's hull proficient, and Leah Lambert, who's navigation efficient. Let's see. So this person here, what are they trained in? So we've got 2 speech bubbles and an eye in the middle. Persuasion and sharp senses. We've also got a discretion. We've got combat up here. Combat and piloting. Fighting, piloting, whatever they are. And then Leah Lambert down here is erudition? Erudition? I'm not sure what that means. And engineering. Okay. So let's choose our 2 crew members. I think I want the weapon reload time, because that's always good. And I reckon if I go with hull repair points per second, I think I'm going to be in a good spot for making the ship tanky, per se. So I think we'll go with this. This is my first stream. Welcome, Golden Walrus. So I'm going to go with these 2. I'm going to go with Isaac and Catalina. We've got this guy's a spy, air quotes, and then we've got a soldier, which is nice. So this is how we're going to rock and roll. So with our 2 selected, We can't change battleship because we've only got one unlocked. I'm going to go with normal difficulty. I don't want to go on easy, even though it's my first time. But simultaneously, I'm not ready for hard. So I'm going to go normal and just see how we do. So now we're getting into the main part of the game. Right. So, we're here at the entrance from the looks of it. These are points of interest. So there's 5 points of interest here. So I'm guessing it's a bit like Duskers, where like you jump to a node and there's various smaller points of interest at that node, or that star or whatever, and then you can jump around there based on how much fuel you've got. So here we've got a single ground signal, an anomaly. Anomaly signals are the riskiest events you'll encounter, offering very positive or very negative outcomes. You won't know which type of event it is, negative or positive, until arriving at the signal's source. Ugh, okay. There's also an Omniforge, don't know what that is. Training beacon, I can assume what that is. Ground signal, so I'm guessing there's some sort of planet or landing involved. And then 5 points of interest, which is very nice. So let us jump from the entrance to Mahasik, the Mahasik system. Let's go. Very nice. Let's have a look here. I wish the game would treat it as my first time. Quite annoying. How do I get the game? Sorry, I want to try and get the game to dialogue typewriter effects. I'm just going to go back to the main menu. I want the game to treat this as my first time, but I can't seem to get it to, because there's a load of dialogue that we're not getting. Resistance is futile. Reinstall the game. Delete the save file? I mean, I could. Let me... Sorry about this. Like, there's a load of dialogue that I was getting as a first-time player that I want you in the stream to experience. This is what I get for playtesting, I suppose. Right. Let me see here. You'll have to bear with me. Let me just find it. There it is. A little bit of a break in immersion, but we are missing out on quite a bit of story. And if you want to know what the fuck's going on, you'll definitely want to get in on it. Let me see if there's a save game location. So, I'm guessing documents. Let's go with... No, nothing in there. Let's see here. No save file there. I wonder if I load the game up again, is there a way to delete it from in-game? It's just like there's so much story. It explains about, you know, where we are, why we're here, you know, more than just the intro cutscene. And if I can get that back, you'll have a much better idea of what's going on, and especially people in the VOD. So I can't see anything in the options. Options are very bare bones, to be fair. If I click... See, if I click continue, it's just going to take us back over here. In-game options has reset data, does it? Am I being blind? Can't see. Reset all data in options. Am I blind? I can't see the right corner. In main... Oh, in main menu. Okay. What? There it is. Reset all data. If you reset all data, all progress in the game will be lost. Current story unlocks. Are you sure you want to do this? Confirm. There it is. So we've done that. New run. I wonder if it's going to let me skip this. I don't think it will. But yeah, this is technically... So it's treating it as my first time. There we go. Lovely, we'll get into it then. Just gonna skip through this to get back to where we were. Big vomit. There it is. Yes, can't recall anything. Call me Caliban. Okay. So then this brings us back to this point, where we choose our 2 officers. Have we got the same people? We've got different names, but same abilities from the looks of it. No, different abilities. We've got the emergency repair person that we got last time. Instead, this time, though, we've got multiple people for squadrons and fighters, which is a bit of a bother. So we might as well choose someone to up our fighters. So let's have a look there. Squadron DPS, tactical targeting. Squadron DPS is much higher. So let's go with Seoyun Kwon. Almost definitely made a hash of that name. Start. Here we go. TLDR of the skip part. We're a clone, and we've woken up in, like, a cloning facility because the person that we're a clone of has died. And we are being sent out by this drone on our left-hand side here, an Omicron drone, to try and figure out what has happened to the Empire, because the Omicron drone has lost contact with the signals given off by the Empire. So we're going off in an Omega-class battleship to try and figure out why the Empire has stopped transmitting. We're deep in the Outer Rim at the moment. So yeah, there's a lot going on. You'll see a lot of comparisons from different games and stuff, so yeah, I apologise. It's a little bit fractured, the VOD's going to be a bit of a mess, but yeah, this is how it is, because see, we didn't get all of this dialogue before. So these are the sectors of the Outer Rim, Admiral, the farthest sectors from the capital that they are. If there was ever a wasteland in the Empire, this would be it. Strange, I'm not picking up other Omnis. Even out here I should be picking up dozens of them. Well, let's not try to overreact, machine. It's probably nothing. The Empire has run flawlessly for how many years now? 700. And it will do so for hundreds more. Now come on, let's take a look around. Interesting. So the name of the opening sector here has changed to Ashubah. Ashubah? The Ashubah system. With, again, an anomaly, 5 points of interest, and a ground contact. So let us jump in. I think the music might be a little loud again. I think it reset. Let me just... did it? No, it didn't. God, it's so loud. I'm going to keep fighting it down. Hopefully that's a little bit more bearable. Right. What do we have here, Lieutenant? It appears to be some kind of cube-like refinery, sir. It's a Neo-N hypercube, Omnitech for simultaneous harvesting and refining of neutrinium from nearby stars. Interesting, if not downright bizarre, this cube isn't connected to the Fold net. How could that be? And why aren't there hyperspace cube Omnis trying to reconnect it as I speak? Ask Caliban for explanations, your memory is still a bit blurry. Certain things are still a bit blurry to me, machine. What do you want to know, Admiral? Let's ask him about Neo-N. Tell me about Neo-N. Hundreds of years ago, pre-Omni times, the first advanced machines discovered the existence of the final element, neutrinium, which exists usually, but not always, in stars. Neutrinium is extremely volatile in its natural state, but these advanced machines stabilized and improved upon it, providing the most powerful and longest-lasting energy source yet, Neo-Neutrinium, or Neo-N for short. Neo-N in turn allowed these first machines to create an even more advanced machine, the Omni, an acronym for the Omni Mechanical Neo-N Intelligence. But I thought you told me Oberon invented the Omnis. I did, you're absolutely right, but technically it's not entirely true. Oberon invented the first advanced machines, which in turn, thanks in part to their creation of Neo-N, invented the Omnis. Neo-N in its refined state is the perfect energy source, stable and almost boundless in its energy yield. As a result, it is used in just about all Omni tech as humans stopped inventing tech hundreds of years ago. Lastly, what's important about Neo-N is that it's our very own Q-Read. Lastly, what's important about Neo-N is that our very own battleship, the NS Odysseus, uses it, and without it we can't go anywhere. I'm getting used to the new words. What do you want to know? So we've asked him about Neo-N. What's the Fold net that he referred to? Tell me more about the Fold net. As you probably recall by now, Admiral, the Omnis have invented and managed Imperial tech more or less since the dawn of the Empire. The Foldnet, arguably our greatest achievement, forms the backbone of the Empire. Think of it as a global galactic network, allowing instant data and/or matter transmission through its numerous interconnected folds and beacons. And without the constant vigilance and management of Foldnet Omnis, none of it would be possible, and humanity would live in a fragmented, chaotic darkness. Needless to say, it's important. What do you want to know, Admiral? Let's ask him about the folds. We've got some new dialogue options. So what are the folders? Folders? Let me see if I can explain this to you in a way that you could possibly understand. In the early days of the Empire, at speeds 100 times that of light speed, the interstice, I'm not sure, offered the fastest space travel available. It was fast, don't get me wrong, but travelling from cluster to cluster could still take decades. To assist Empire administration, and because we could, the Omnis invented a means to travel from 2 points in space instantaneously. The folders. Yes, each folder, several kilometres across, is linked or paired with another folder through a process of, this is going to be really difficult to explain, a non-quantum computing entity. Essentially, all you need to know is that these paired folders collapse or fold space for a very brief amount of time, so as to join 2 points in space previously unjoined. God. Without the folders, Oberyn could never have grown his empire, nor keep it together for the last 700 years. Each folder is run by an Omni. These Omnis are cleverly known as folder Omnis. Without them, the folders simply cannot work. Lastly, in order to reach Elysium, the Empire's capital, on our journey, we will have to use several folders. But why can't we just teleport to the Elysium directly? We are deep in the Outer Rim. The few folders paired with Elysium will be found only at very important hubs. We'll need to reach those first. What do you want to know? So we've learnt about folders, there's beacons, and then the interstice. Let's learn about the beacons. What can you tell me about the Foldnet beacons? The beacons, which we'll most likely encounter on our journey, function as repeaters, amplifying all Foldnet data transmissions through the clusters. Beacons allow all Empire citizens, even if they live out here on the Outer Rim, and are, for all intents and purposes, socially and culturally irrelevant, to receive and send information in the galaxy instantly. Oberyn believes that everyone has the right to instantaneous information and materials in his sectors. Quite debatable, if you ask me. What do you want to know, Admiral? Let's talk about the interstice, the high-speed drives that we have. The interstice? The interstice is another Omni-invented tech, one of the first great inventions and one developed long before the folders. With their internal tech, the Omnis created an empty space dimension between the ones you know, what we call a tunnel, where the universal light speed behaves, let's say, differently. In an interstitial tunnel, it's possible to reach up to 100 times the speed of light, and speed that allowed your kind to colonize the nearest stars. However, the interstitial travel still has its limitations. For example, at this speed, it would take 750 years from you to travel from one end of the Empire to the other, a period of time greater than the age of the Empire itself, hence the need for folders. However, the interstice is sufficient when travelling intra-cluster and within that cluster's sectors. What do you want to know? So we've learnt everything. So we've learnt about Neo-N, the fuel source. We've learnt about the Foldnet, which is a wider Empire network connecting everything together. The folders, which are basically wormhole, fabric of space, quantum jumping type things. The beacons, which basically relay information for the Foldnet, and then the interstice, which is basically the in-system it is technically faster than light, but the jumps that allow you to go between stars instantaneously in a local area, basically. A webway almost, yeah, Toby, exactly right. So we have no more questions for now. That's enough for now, machine. What do you want to know about this hypercube? Let's send a small team to investigate. Captain Lynch, form a small squadron, fly around the cube and tell me what you see. On it, sir. Sir, the Omni was right. The cube isn't connected to the FoldNet, and by the looks of it, hasn't been connected in years. Just a guess here, but I'd say it looks like it's been disconnected for maybe 10, 15 years? 10 or 15 years. At least, sir. Could the Empire have, I don't know, disconnected it on purpose? I don't think so, Admiral. I'm not an Omni, or not a Cube Omni myself, but the Cube's a complex tech, needing constant supervision. Disconnecting it would make it all but impossible. And the Neo-N levels? Empty, sir. There's no Neo-N here whatsoever. Looks like whoever came before us took all of it. We won't be refueling here. The reserves might be empty, but there could still be some residual Neo-N coursing through the cube. I should be able to unlock its final restraint so that we can scavenge the leftovers. It won't be much, but it will help our efforts. There, we should be able to scavenge Neo-N fuel here now, but that's the last of it in this cube. All suns have Neo-N cubes, where you have a chance to scavenge some precious leftover fuel. Let's scavenge Neo-N. A tiny amount. Fair enough. Brilliant. So we've got all of that. So yeah, this is our main sort of setup here with regards to everything we've got. So we're in the Excelsior class with the NS Odysseus core system. So I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I'm guessing whatever system we're in, we get a bonus. That's my guess. We've got obviously our Neo-N fuel, which is how many times we can jump. Scrap, which is responsible for upgrades and things, which I don't know. We've got auxiliary systems, but I don't seem to... I imagine that's a bit like Duskers with the auxiliary systems. But I don't know how this works exactly. Got various weapons and stuff, no idea. Let's go to the local system map. So we are currently here at the Ashurban Star. Our next destination is going to be the Ashurban TG293 waypoint marker. So let us jump out there. And this is using the interstice, jumping between the two planets. That looks very Borg. Sir, battleship, 12 o'clock. What kind of battleship, Lieutenant? I couldn't say, sir. I've never seen a ship like this in all my service. Incoming transmission. Imperial battleship made from Telos tech. My mouth is watering. This is Admiral Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. Stand down, Captain. This is an Imperial sector you find yourself in. Imperial sector? That's funny, imp. Very nice, Grub. What a nice name. Prepare to fight. This battle is imminent. Good luck, Admiral. Okay. And this is the combat portion of the game. You can deploy your officers during fights. Some officers have special abilities that can boost specific systems. All officers can also repair critical effects sustained to any system. There are 3 systems: squadrons, weapons, and hull, so be careful when you deploy your officers. So, we've got a hull officer at the moment. Squadrons are essential to protect your battleship and destroy enemies. To deploy your squadrons, click the plus sign on an empty dock. For now, your second dock will be locked until you have learned the basics. Your weapon system gains a decisive advantage on the battlefield. Weapons can be deployed clicking the plus sign on an empty dock. Your Neurocom can also accelerate your thoughts at a point where time appears totally still. So basically we can big brain so fast that time stops. We basically make a decision so quickly that it appears to everyone else that we've made the decision instantly, whereas in the recesses of our brain we have taken some time to think it out. So, what we need to do, assign a squadron. Now, they have, well, this is what I learned, they have some drones on board, right? And this comes in a case of rock, paper, scissors. So, I've got various aircraft. I've got fighters, I've got drones, and I've got frigates. If you deploy the right ship to counter hostile ships, then you are able to do massive damage and win the engagement. It's rock, paper, scissors type thing. So, if the enemy is deploying drones, we do not want to deploy frigates, because as you can see there in the purple it says massive damage bonus frigates, so we don't want to deploy our frigate against the drones. Fighters, however, deal massive damage against drones. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to deploy our fighter squadron, and we are also going to deploy one of our officers. Now, Seo Young Kwawen who I've definitely butchered the name of, has an ability for tactical targeting which increases squadron's DPS by 15%, so we're going to assign her to the squadron bay, and then we are going to assign Felamilas here to the ship's hull system due to the fact that she has half a hull point repair per second, so we're going to get her on that. Weapons, I don't have an officer for because I've only got 2 officers, but I can at least power up the weapon, which is a piercing laser. 22-second charge time, does a single shot's worth of damage, 15 damage. So when I click on pause, everything's going to be ready to go. So I'm going to pause again. So we've got our squadron here. 60 health points, bonus versus drones. Melee damage, 5.8 DPS because of the increase of the fact that it says melee damage, but basically when you get close to another ship, it's how much damage it deals. We have a slight increase in that due to the fact that we have the lady in the system here that gives them plus 15%. So plus 15% of 5, we get like an extra, what 0.6 is it? 0.8 DPS? So a little bit more DPS. You can see here, if I fly these guys into these areas, they get basically an overwatch on everything that's around them, so people have to fly past them, or I can engage in a direct engagement, which I think is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to maneuver to here to start with, 2.2 seconds, and I'm going to see where these hostile drones are going. Let's engage. There we go. You can see our guys are absolutely ripping them a new one. We lost one of our fighters, but it's not too big of a deal. We got them engaged and destroyed in very good time. What I'm going to do now is start attacking the enemy's system. So I'm going to go for their squadron base so that they can't launch anything else. So let's send in our fighters to go and attack their squadrons. Our main weapon's coming up online. There it is. Main weapon is ready. Your weapon has finished charging and is ready to fire. Click on it and choose a target on the battlefield to deal damage to your enemies. Okay, so you can attack ships and other ships and systems and stuff that are out in the field here, but I'm going to go for one of their core systems. I'm going to aim for their weapons, just in case they fire. Go. 15 damage to their weapons. It's badly damaged. Their hull is going down at a hell of a rate. And we have destroyed them. Good job, Admiral. Here is a summary of the battle. Rewards 51 scrap material. Very, very nice. What was that thing? This is Lieutenant Ozu. I don't know, Lieutenant, and I'm not sure I want to either. It's gone. Okay. So yeah, our fighters have been repaired, which is nice. We've got a satellite here. I'm not entirely sure what the relevance of that satellite is. Can't seem to do anything here. This was probably just a space encounter. I think this is just a waypoint, isn't it? So I can't interact with the satellite. That's a very cool effect. Kicked the snot out of it, haven't we? Okay, local system. Next on our journey is Ragnar Station 5. Mr. Lothbrok, here we go. It is very similar to FTL Adrius, you are right. Good stuff. Imperial Outpost, sir. It seems abandoned. Any heat signatures? Not a single one. Seems empty of all human life. What about omnipresence? There should be omnis managing the station, no? They should be, and I'm not detecting anything. This is getting stranger and stranger. Ask Caliban about this Imperial outpost. What can you tell me about this outpost, Caliban? It seems to be just your run-of-the-mill Imperial outpost, Admiral. There are outposts in Imperial sectors, in all Imperial sectors. With the capital Elysium so far away, they help keep the peace and maintain order. You must show your military might so that you don't have to use it, I believe is the thinking, but there's definitely no military might here. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Well, let's attempt to make contact. Lieutenant, see if you can open contact with someone on board, human or non-human. Of course, Admiral. Sorry, sir, there isn't anyone inside, and if they are, they're not answering. What do you want to do about this outpost? Well, now we have to send an away team. There's no contact. Let's send a team of commandos into the outpost for a closer look. Captain Lean, form a small team and check it out. Got it, sir. So we're sending in the commandos. Let's have a look. Sir, the outpost is empty. Seems it was abandoned years ago. If I had to guess, probably around the time that the hypercube back there was disconnected from the fold net. Looks like someone came here, took most of the valuable Omni parts, Neo-N encapsulators and positronic chips, and left the rest behind. Scavenging Omni parts? Who would do such a thing? That's a capital offence. The Pragma execute you for. Hold on, sir. I'm getting a transmission. My commandos have found something. An Omni, intact, top to bottom. A functional one? That's a negative, sir. It was in a lower level. Guess whoever was here before us didn't go down that far. Might have needed high clearance to get in. Admiral, I can examine it from here if the captain plugs the datapad into the exosoc. Sure thing, Omni. Okay, accessing the Omni's mainframe. And? Strange. Its exoframe is perfectly intact. It has plenty of Neo-N and its positronic, I'm going to struggle with that word, chip seems to be in place. It should be up and running. I don't get it. Any idea when it would shut down? According to its chip, 20 years ago. Roughly the time the Hypercube was unlinked from the FoldNet. What do you want to do about this outpost, Admiral? Well, let's ask for explanations. Memory is still blurry. I've got 3 new dialogue options. What do you want to know? Ask Caliban if he can reactivate the Omni. Can you turn it back on, Caliban? Unfortunately, no. Only Omni owners can do that. Besides, this isn't just in sleep mode. It's been shut down. Thank you very much to No Name there for the 5 months. Very kind, sir. Good to see you. What do you want to know? Let's ask him about this positronic chip. Another Omni invention, I'm guessing? Actually, no. Your kind invented this, as incredible as that is. Specifically, Emperor Oberon. The positronic chip serves several purposes. 1, it contains the Rubicon, and 2, it dictates Omni functionality. My functions are specific to Gehenna, and as such are different from the functions of other Omnis, whether they be Imperial Outpost Omnis like the Omni here, or Folder Omnis, Cube Omnis, Medical Omnis, Teacher Omnis, or the hundreds of other kinds of Omnis that exist in the Empire. Lastly, the positronic chip gives Omnis quantum computing capabilities. It is what allows us to be so much smarter than you. Big flex. Positronic chips are produced and distributed near Elysium. Of course, that's by design so that Oberon can closely monitor the positronic quota. Simply put, without a positronic chip, an Omni is little more than an exoframe. What more do you want to know? Tell me about the quota. Yes. So, as to maintain perpetual harmony in the Empire, Oberon created a quota. Depending on your house and whether it's a minor or major, you receive a certain number of chips every 10 years. Who received the most chips? House Telos, or Telos. Of course, Oberon's house, our house. And the fewest? One of the minor houses, Vicarelli. They have a pitiful quota. Embarrassing, really. I'd hate to be a Vicarelli Omni. What do you want to know? So there's already like a bit of shit between... So it could be that the Vicarelli house is stealing this stuff, but that wouldn't explain why all of the Empire things are missing. Like, this is an Empire outpost. It's meant to be like a military installation, basically. A massive hub that the Empire can use to project power across the Outer Rim. And it's empty. It's deserted. No signs of struggle. No sign. It's very odd. Let's talk about the Rubicon. I heard you mention it when you were talking about the positronic chips. Tell me more about this Rubicon. The Rubicon is a set of rules enforced by a very low level, enforced at a very low level, ensuring that Omnis don't harm humans and don't deviate from their missions. Oh god. Will Smith's going to be running around on a motorbike. iRobot vibes. Okay. Again, you can see inspiration for a lot of things here. Suppose an Omni disobeyed its Rubicon. What would happen to them? Well, that is quite rare, but unfortunately there are examples of this occurring in the early days. But if that happens, then the chip would deactivate and trigger a self-termination feature in the Omni. Omni suicide? It's just a feature, Admiral. Rarely activated. What do you want to know? So we've talked about the Rubicon in EON. I've talked about everything. No more questions, Your Honor. Could be a good time to take a break, I agree. What do you want to know about the outpost? Let's continue on. We've asked all the questions that we can. There's nothing more that we can do. We've already sent a strike team and found a disused Omni. There's nothing more to learn here. Continue on. Okay, machine, I'll admit it. Something is wrong, at least in the outer rim. I don't want to further worry you, but our battleship's heuristics are detecting an anomaly at our next destination. Okay. Local star map. So there's an anomaly detected here. Anomaly signals are the riskiest events you'll encounter, offering a very positive or very negative outcome. You won't know which it is until you get there. Fair enough. So we are jumping to Ashaban Satellite NS-283. Let's rock and roll. Anomaly signal. It's one of those creatures again, sir. Maybe this one will be friendly? Nice ship you got there. I'm going to enjoy scrapping it over your dead bodies. You're going down, whatever you are. Fair enough. Prepare to fight. The battle is imminent. Good luck. I believe the game opens in pause, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Each basic squadron type, frigates, drones and fighters, are best suited to fight against a particular squadron, providing it with a massive damage bonus if properly matched. Be sure to find a unit's strengths and weaknesses before deploying it. So they've got fighters, which means we don't want to deploy fighters, we want to deploy frigates. If we deploy frigates, we're going to be in a very good spot. So let's try and deploy some frigates on their fighters. The weapon is charging. Let us move in to engage those fighters. Attack positions.
Oh,
send in the frigates.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's a bloodbath. Very nice. Let's move in the frigates then. Get them to go and engage. Attack those fighter squadrons.
Yeah.
Thank you very much there to Ulla31 for the tier 1 sub and Akentor for the 4 months. Very, very kind of you both. Thank you. Destroying their squadron bay. Main weapon is ready to fire. Send it in on their weapon system. 15 damage. Huge hit to their hull. 29 out of 44. Frigates are absolutely hosing down their squadron bay. Their squadrons are badly damaged. There it is. What's this? Critical effect. Squadron control system damaged. Squadron speed is down, DPS is down. Each new critical effect deals 1 damage to each officer docked in the system. Very nice. And we've destroyed them. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. Rewards Mark 1 fighter. Very nice. I love that explosion effect. Though we had yet another brush with death, at least our scanner detected the anomaly this time. Tell me more about these anomalies, machine. Anomalies are destinations with a higher than normal probability of being very negative or very positive. Unfortunately, we don't know what kind of outcome to expect until we arrive at the source's signal. You could say investigating anomaly signals are a bit of a gamble. Good to know. Come on, there's got to be something around here, someone around here who can tell us what's going on. So we've got an anomaly here. Encountered anomaly main mission. So how do I interact with this? Encountered anomaly main mission. It doesn't say anything. I can't seem to interact with it. Do I just move on? There's a battleship wreckage. Explosions in space. Big Kappa, it's true. You've done the mission, I expect. So I guess it's just completed, I reckon. Okay, fair enough. Let's jump to the final sector then. Theus 4, a planet. Or Theus 6 even. VI. Let's have a look. There would appear to be a small colony on this planet, Admiral. Maybe we can finally get some answers. I'm also detecting a ground signal, roughly 1,000 kilometers from the colony. Could be worth investigating with an expedition. Hello? Is anyone there? Oh my god, it's the internet historian. Jesus, hello, mate. This is Admiral Ellis Idaho of the Imperial Fleet. I am Tegan Bowie. Good man. The leader of my small colony. What can we do for you, Admiral? If it's scrap you're looking for, I'm sorry, but we have none to spare. Scrap? We're here to find out what's going on in these sectors. I don't understand. We've yet to encounter a single active Omni, and 2 enemy battleships have engaged us. Is this some sort of sick joke, Admiral? The Omnis shut down. Impossible. The Omnis shut down in our sectors, and when they did, so did all of their tech. It can't run without them. How? When? I've no idea when it happened or how it happened, sir. I'm not sure even Oberyn does. It's truly the great mystery of our time. As for when, 20 years ago. We relied on them for everything. Food, medicine, weather. It's hard to give accurate numbers, but maybe 75% of the population here died on the first 5 years alone? Jesus. Who knows how many of us are left? 10%? Less? Right. Let's learn more. Let's ask if we can provide them any help. What can the Ennis Odysseus do to help? Defeating the Scrappers would be a nice start. Things would look a whole lot better with those scum out of the way. The Scrappers? Don't tell me you don't know about them either. It's like you've been living this entire time on an uninhabited planet on the edge of the Outer Rim. That pretty much covers it up. The Scrappers are a group of hideous, irradiated scavengers who collect leftover Omnitech and Neo-N. When the Omni shut down, causing the Foldnet to collapse in our sector, they were the ones who took over in the chaos. They're not the only rotten apples around here, with your pirates and occasional crazy civilian, but they're definitely the worst. They defeated the Imperial ships? How? Telos Tech is second to none. Imperial captains are trained at the Academy. True, but the Scrapper battleships wore them down, picked them off, one here, another there. It was a war of attrition. Plus the Empire couldn't send reinforcements, not with our folder down. Yeah, I hate to say it, but I think it's just a matter of time before they make slaves of us all. But even if you beat them, even if you beat Mother, it won't change anything. The way we're going, 10, 15 years from now, with all the hardships we're experiencing, we'll be gone. All of us. Unless what? You somehow reactivate the Omnis, turn them back on again. The ones that haven't been scavenged for their parts, that is. That's the only way to save us. God. Is there something else you want to know, Admiral? How do you think that the Omnis could be turned back on? How can we do that? You're asking the wrong guy, I'm afraid. As I said, no one knows who or what shut them down. You'll have to solve that mystery on your own. And once you do, you'll still have to find a way to turn them back on, which might be another thing altogether. Where should we start? I hate to say it, but Mother is probably your best bet. I mean, she benefited the most from shutting down in this cluster, didn't she? Then again, there's a lot of theories out there about who or what is responsible for this. There is something else you want to know, Admiral. There is. Let's ask about Mother. Mother? You really don't know, do you? For some reason, that's what they call their leader. Mother. Mom. Mummy. Ugh. It's all very upsetting. From what I gather, she is the one who started the Scrappers, fostering a punk, nihilistic scavenging philosophy amongst their sordid ranks. Q-Breed dialogue simulator it is. And who makes up her ranks? Former Imperial prisoners, I think, the worst of the worst. When the Omni shut down, the prisoners escaped from their Omni-run prisons and psychiatric stations. Mother loves her tech, especially House Telos tech, like the battleship you have there. And she and the Boyles, who work for her, will kill you for it, and enjoy doing it too. She's been terrorizing these sectors for years now, enslaving men and women to bolster her numbers and make them into her playthings and baby makers, as she calls them. Ugh. I don't really want to ask about them. Let's ask if she shut down the Omnis. Did she do it? Is she the reason they're shut down? Like I said before, Admiral, I couldn't say, but if she didn't do it, I'd wager some serious scrap she knows who did. But I don't recommend asking her, Admiral. I don't recommend getting anywhere near her for that matter, frankly. Mother terrifies me. Is there something else I can help you with? Ask about the Scrappers who control the sector. Yeah, tell me more about the Scrappers who work for Mother and control these sectors. Each sector is controlled by one of Mother's cronies. You'll recognise them by their freakish mutations brought on by their exposure to too much Neo-N. But I sincerely hope you don't see them, because if you do, well, usually you don't live to tell about it. It's not the bravest thing to do, but I'll say it again. Hide. Make yourself inconspicuous, Admiral. If you're lucky, you'll have another 10-15 years. Is there something else you want to know about these Scrapper scum? Do I ask about the playthings and baby makers? I'm gonna ask. You don't want to know who they are. But since you asked, the playthings are Mother's sex slaves, and the baby makers are, well, what she uses to make babies. Ugh. Big Ick. Make babies. Scrappers often die young from their exposure to Neo-N, as they should. Thank Oberyn for that. Mother uses her baby makers to keep the Scrappers' numbers growing. She supposedly has a breeding station spread throughout these sectors. Oh god. Frankly, I can't imagine a worse place. We'll do everything we can to stop these monsters, you have my word. Is there something else you want to know about these Scrapper scum? Nothing for the minute. I don't blame you. It's not exactly for the faint of heart. It's true. Is there something else you wanted to know? Let's learn more about Scrap. You mentioned something called Scrap. Can you tell me more about it? Well, now that the Omnis have been inactive for so long, Imperial Sol, the former currency, no longer holds value of any sort. The only thing that does is scrap. Remnants of Omnitech, its metals, ship materials, and Neo-N, our energy source. As Omnitech becomes scarcer and scarcer, which it has over the last 20 years, its value has appreciated, causing people to act in increasingly desperate and violent ways to get it. That's why scrappers want to destroy your ship so much. It's so they can collect its broken down parts and sell them, just so they can prolong their miserable lives. But it's not the scrappers and the pirates who desire the stuff, it's just that most of us common folk aren't willing to kill for it, at least. Not yet. Is there something else you want to know? Okay, so we've learnt about scrap. Ask about the theories regarding the Omni. I think we've explored all of these. I've heard a few, Admiral. Even in times of starvation, people like to gossip. Probably the most popular around here is that the Omnivirus theory, which is that somehow the Omnis got some kind of machine virus that quickly spread and ultimately shut them down. But that theory doesn't hold water for me. Why not? It doesn't explain how or why they all shut down at the same time, which, you know, they all seemingly did around here. One moment they were working, doing what they've always done, making our lives easier, and the next, they weren't. I don't know of any virus that could do that. Do you? What other theories have you heard? Well, after that, you've got your less credible theories, such as? Well, you've got your Omni-mass suicide theory that states that the Omnis, upset over their role in the Empire, somehow find a way to shut themselves down, to kill themselves because they no longer wanted to live. Then you've got your Omni-rapture theory, which was that the Omnis left this realm to go to a heavenly realm. This theory is popular amongst certain fringe religion groups, whack jobs if you ask me. And last but not least, you've got your alien shutdown theory, which is that a hostile aliens from another galaxy, or is it another dimension, shut down all of our Omnis so that they could easily conquer us. The big problem with that theory is that, as far as I know, the hostile aliens never showed up. And what do you think? Me? I think we should never have become so dependent on the things in the first place. That's what I think. Is there something else you want to know? I think that's it. Let's end the conversation. I promise in the name of Oberyn we'll take care of these scrappers and get your Omnis up and running again. You say that, Admiral, but you'll fail or you'll stop trying sooner or later, or worse yet, you'll die. But take this Neo-N, Admiral. We have plenty at the moment, and I have a feeling you'll need it. And like I said, I know it's not the bravest thing to do, but the best thing is if you hide. You'll live longer that way. 4 Neo-N fuel. End of transmission, sir. Do you believe what he said, Admiral? Unfortunately, yes. It explains everything we've seen so far. The Omnis shut down in the Outer Rim, and so did their tech, including the cluster folder. Or the clusters folder. That's why those scrappers now run things here. So what do we do now? First thing we need to do is find this mother. As Bowie said, if she didn't shut the Omnis down, chances are she knows who or what did. If you want to move on, Admiral, open the star map below by clicking it and we'll choose our next system. Otherwise, you might want to try to stay and check out this ground signal I was telling you about. Could be an opportunity to gather some resources and put your commandos to use. Let's check the ground signal then. Now that you've learned the basics, your second dock has been unlocked. Remember to make good use of it while commanding your squadrons. A numerical advantage is often a turning point in battle. Very good. Okay, let's prepare for this mission. You can access the expedition dashboard here. Prepare mission. Scan planet. Ground contact. On the side of a mountain, it looks like. Battleship wreckage. Major threats non-detected. Commandos required. Well, we have... So, minimal requirements is 3. This is the number of commandos sent on the expedition. Minimum requirement for the commandos is 3. The maximum number of commandos that can be sent is 10 or up to 10 if you have enough of them. The more you send, the better your chances of success. This section displays the types of artifacts you will have a chance to collect during the expedition. Each type will yield the same kind of reward. This section displays the major threats, especially dangerous situations your team face during the expedition. Be careful about those. The ground distress signals displays the number of possible retreats your team have during the mission. Okay, 1 retreat chance. Officer survival represents the chance your leading officer has to return safely. Healthy officers have a chance to come back injured. Injured officers have a chance to die. An injured or dead officer will abort the mission, forcing the team to retreat without the loot. Resource extraction. The resource extraction meter represents the minimum and maximum chance or percentage of encountered resources, artifacts included, that your team will have a chance to bring back with them to your ship if the leading officer survives the expedition. And then commando survival. If the commando survival meter represents the chances your commandos have to return safely, its minimum and maximum number of commandos that will not make it back to your ship. So this person here is way better to go on this ground mission. So the officer will return safely, she'll gather more resources, and we're much more likely to get the commandos back alive. But let's send her down. Launch expedition. Lieutenant Caliban's detected an artifact on this planet that could be very helpful to our mission. We have a good idea of where it is, but we'll need you and a team of commandos to go on the ground to find the extraction. We'll have visuals, but space-to-ground communication will be minimal. We can't risk giving away the location of our battleship or exposing you to potential local threats. Only contact us when it's secure to do so, and I'll decide if an emergency retreat is necessary. Of course, any additional resources you encounter should be extracted too. Now get going. A shuttle's waiting for you and the commandos. Good luck down there. Thank you, sir. Interesting. Very deep rock. Interesting. Resource cache. Engineering. Lots of scrap. Danger. Sharp senses. Battleship wreckage. So we got an injured commando and a dead commando. Danger. Danger avoided. Nice one. A knowledge is getting them out of all of this shit. The line is secured, Admiral. We've seen our bio readouts. What do you think? Should we continue on the mission? Yes. You're doing well so far. Sharp senses. Nothing found. Very nice. That one looks very good. Transmission module. Waiting for extraction, sir. Continue. 109 scrap achieved, and we lost a commando. It happens. The star map button opens the current sector star map where you can choose your next destination. Star map. We've got a shitload of scrap. Oh my god, look at this. Each node represents a stellar system you can visit. Each interstitial jump to a neighbouring system costs 1 Neo-N. Okay. Each system contains different points of interest: ground signals, trading beacons, Omniforge, and anomaly. Ground signals show systems with planetary expeditions. Trading beacons indicators show a system where you can buy or repair equipment. Omniforge indicator shows a system where you can improve the mark of your squadrons. Not sure. I guess upgrade. Indicators show a system where there is a high risk or reward situation. Each time you jump, the current sector's rulers get more suspicious. Once the counter reaches 0, they will follow your tracks and try and find you. Being caught will result in a very difficult and unprofitable encounter. So we've got to stay... That's very FTL. We've got to stay ahead of the fleet somehow. Right. So, there's 5 points of interest and a ground contact here. There's a trading beacon up here, which we could try at a mercenary outpost. So we could buy more mercenaries. Interesting, too far away. So where that one's too far. Sorry, we're here, so we can either jump. So we can either jump here or here to stay ahead of the fleet. So this place is a shipyard, and that place is a mercenary outpost. I think should we aim for the shipyard? Although there's only 2 points of encounter. Go north, someone says. I could go north and then go south. There is an anomaly up there, and a mercenary outpost. This looks like something someone who enjoys FTL would enjoy. Would you agree? I'd say so. It's different, for sure. What do we reckon? North seems cool. Okay, let's go north then. So we're going to go and do 3 missions up there. There's 3 areas of interest, a trading post and an anomaly. Right. I'm going to be on stream for about another 40 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer. Anomaly signal. Civilian wreckage, sir. Looks like it collided head-on with something in an interstitial tunnel. Survivors? Unlikely, sir. Not at the speed they were travelling. There might be a small amount of scrap available in taking the crash if it didn't disintegrate. Oh, so this is so I'm guessing this is the anomaly. We could either try and get the scrap out of it and risk getting... We don't need more scrap, do we? We could just push on. Like, we're not desperate for scrap at the moment. Yeah, I don't think we need scrap. I could get it. Are you fighting the Borg? No, that's a Neo-N refinery. Automatically interact with an anomaly if you arrive at the node in question. I see. Do we know the value of scrap at this point? No. I suppose I should try it then, because I don't know whether that's a lot of scrap or not very much. In FTL, 200's a lot of scrap, but in this it could be nothing. Yeah, Crisis makes a good point. Let's try and scavenge. Captain, get us that scrap if there's any of it. As upsetting as this situation is, we need to get as much scrap as we can get. Putting my men and women on it at once, sir. Looks like we've got is it a strike team going down to the surface? My team's bringing the scrap back now, Admiral. Not a bad little metal haul, if I do say so myself. 55 scrap, so we pulled it off. Let's scavenge any Neo-N they had. They've got 1 Neo-N here. And that is that. We've also got another hangar here. Let's prepare a fighter squadron. So we'll deploy fighters and a frigate. Because we've got 2 sets of fighters, so we can use them as a means to an end, just in case we get into combat. Right, so we've got a couple of places we can go to. We can go to this unidentified beacon, and then I will go to the other one. Civvy ship, sir, but I'm not detecting any activity inside. I fear we're too late. Okay. Attempt to contact the civilian ship, send Captain Lynch to do a flyby, or continue on the next destination. What do we think? Get more scrap so you can upgrade your reactor to get better evasion. It's true, Rice. Can you repair your drone squadron? I'm not sure. Let's contact the civilian ship. Ozu, see if you can make contact. On it, sir. Sorry, sir, no response. What do you want to do about this? Let's send Captain Lynch to do a flyby. Do a flyby, Captain. Looks like a ghost ship from here, but let's be certain. On it, sir. It's a ghost ship, all right. Nothing here, sir. No scrap or fuel. Looks like someone beat us to it. Probably those despicable scrappers. What do you want to do? Continue on. Nothing else here. Local star map. We want to go to Solaris 8, Mercenary Outpost. Let's see here. Oh, there's a scrapper, sir. It seems its hull is damaged. Easy fight if you want it. Incoming message. Don't even think about it. My hull might be damaged, but I have Imperial slaves. Try anything, and each and every one dies. You think I'm kidding? See for yourself. He means it, Admiral. Try anything, and we'll all die. End of transmission, sir. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So I could pay for their release. I think bribing. Like, there's a risk that we could lose 4 commandos, and I've already lost 1. I have a lot of scrap. Pay for the release and kill them. I'm going to attempt to bribe them. This 50-50, I mean, it could work, maybe, but none of my captains, so none of these officers here have the, like, special combat upgrade. So if I have to send them in as well, I could potentially lose them. So I'm going to go for the bribe. What kind of deal, Admiral? Your hull is damaged. I'd be willing to trade some scrap for the slaves. Some scrap for these slaves? I hate making any kind of deal with an Imperial, but I'll do it. Just this once. Sir, the scrappers released the slavers to us. As luck would have it, some have combat experience and they've joined our corps and await your command. There you go. 4 commandos make up the team there. That's good. Right, mercenary outpost. Visit shop. So I could get new officers. So this does actually appear to be a fair bit of scrap. 230. Not amazing. No officers to heal. Okay. So let's see. I need to try and get a weapons officer if I can. What's this? Advanced maneuvers. Officer assist. Who are these? This guy's a jack of all trades. This will act as having the same ability as the officer currently deployed in the previous support dock at the same system. So he's like an auxiliary officer. This guy's very combat oriented. But he's squadrons again. I don't need squadrons. Everyone here's squadron. And force field generator Mark II. An invincibility effect to target... Okay, so we could protect one of our ships. No effect on battleship's hull. Invincibility. So it would protect... It would protect our systems. The only time you send your officers with your soldiers is when you go planet side. Right. Hull break laser Mark II. Deals no heat to battleship systems. Right. No effect on field units. So it just does direct damage, but you can only use it on enemy ships. High damage, long charge. It's true, that's very good damage, but 35 seconds is a hell of a long time to wait. What if I was to sell? What could I sell? Not that I really want to, but I could sell. No, I want to maybe buy. Do I get Richard? Do I get this support officer? Because he could be worth it. Because he can do anything. Will act as having the same ability as the officer who's currently deployed. So if I deploy him in the what's it as well. So let me have a look here. So if I deploy him in the same area as Seo Yun here, then the fighters should get 30%. Buy another squadron officer. But if I buy that guy and put him in here, then the fighters would get 30%. Is 3 fuel enough? I think so. Each time you travel to a new planet or system, it costs you 1 fuel. I think 3 fuel's enough. You need an officer slot for that. Yeah, so you're right, I can't actually put someone in there. So I need to try and find a weapons officer, which I don't have at the moment. God, the music is still a bit loud. I'm just going to turn the music down. There we go. So let's see then. We don't want to jump out just yet. We've got 15 commandos. Close the star map. Close map. Right, so this place. So I could buy commandos. Check upgrades. You might want to get a second slot. How do I get upgrades? How do I upgrade? Oh, there it is, in fact. Right. So let's have a look here. So additional hull structures. Adds hull bars to your ship to increase its life. Damage bars are automatically repaired after winning a battle. All fires are put out after hull bar destruction. Okay. Hardened hull. Squadron system support. Add officer-based assistance to power up your squadrons. 1 officer in the support dock in squadron control system. Squadron dock recovery. Weapons. Additional weapon docks. Add an additional weapon. What do I want to do here? Dock recovery. Dock recovery takes 13 seconds. Additional squadron docks. Not enough scrap for that. That's too expensive. 1 officer. So I could get this and get another officer. Is that right? So if I pay for this, get fuel scavenging efficiency ASAP. Increase scavenging and cannot fail. Adds a chance to extract additional. That's quite good. Fuel scavenging. Okay, we'll get fuel scavenging. Do I want to max that out? Or do I now want to do the thing? So at 1 point in that, 1 point in that, and then grab the auxiliary officer. Someone says to max fuel. Can you afford all 3? Yeah, so I've got a point in that. So 190, it costs 75 for an officer. So I can what, it'd be 155 if I've done my maths right, scrap, and I've got 190. People are thinking max fuel. Next level. True. Yeah, that makes a really big difference. The difference between 2 and 3 is massive, actually. Fuel is life. We'll max out fuel then. Is there anything else that I can do to the ship? So, hardened hull. 120 points per health bar. Weapon system support. Additional weapon docks. Probably a bit too expensive for me now. Squadron support. Squadron dock recovery. Ground signal efficiency allows for 2 retreats during the expedition. Retreating will cost 75% of the loot and 75% of that. Okay, so for ground. Okay, so this is for ground stuff. Navigation. Increase intel on stellar systems in a sector. Show stellar systems information up to 1 jump away. This could be quite good because this will allow a tactical retreat and for us to gain some of the loot. Or we can make this hull tank here. Get an officer and have a reserve for now. So, for now, when you get... Okay, so let's... Yeah, you're right. Let's get an officer, if we can. Visit shop. We can just leave him in reserve, even if we don't deploy him. So, weapon sabotage. Reset the cooldown of the weapons, which, with the least loading time remaining, only charge when allied squadrons present at least 3 cells away from the enemy weapons bay. So that's a fighter special that we can use to shut down enemy weapons. Christos Lima. Squadron speed plus 10 when visible, but plus 35 when it's stealth. Plus 25 speed. This would be quite good because she's going to be quite good on ground missions because she's a soldier. Look at their skills too. I don't know how to bring up the... So, if you'll have to forgive me here, right? I can't remember. So you see on the bottom right where it says skills, I can't remember exactly what they do. And I don't know how to check them. Get Christos for the diplomacy skill. That's persuasion, isn't it? Left click on an officer. See, no, that means you'll buy them. Left click is buy. I believe you can hover the cursor over an officer you have already have, and it shows the skills. Yeah, but I can't, like, I want to mouse over the thing on the right here so that I can see what the individual skills are. Can't seem to get it to stay there so I can bring my cursor over to hover over them. There's got to be another way. How about right-clicking them? No, that just unequips her. Right-clicking isn't doing anything. Okay, I don't know. I guess I could. I guess I'd just have to open a wiki. A bit of a spoiler for you. You will later find even better officers. I'm going to save my scrap then, right? Because there's another store that I can jump to, isn't there? There's another store just to my south. So let's save my scrap and pay forward. We've upgraded our fuel efficiency. So that's enough. So we've already been to everywhere here. Let's go star map. So these guys are closing in fast. Alert is spreading. Let's go to this shipyard. Here we are. An Empire outpost. Hey, saw your ship there, so I thought I might as well ask. We need a hyperventilator 23 to make a generator go. Any chance you've got one kicking around? I think we've got some scrap around here to pay you with somewhere. Chief here, sir. Listening in. We don't have a 23 in our stock, but we could break a bird down and get that way. Get it that way. Right, so break down a squadron and give the station... A random squadron will become patched. So that means that, so a squadron will be damaged, and they will give us something. Is this worth it? We could just tell them that we're Admiral Idaho. What do we think? What do we think? You have 2 fighters. True. Okay, let's give it a go. We do have 2 fighters. You destroy a squadron, not damage. We've got multiple fighters. We've got a lot of squadrons in it. Okay, let's give it a go then. We'll give them one of these guys. Chief, break it down. Let's give this station what they need. You got it, sir? Wrecked. We got one of them. Your engineer gave us the 23. You're a genuinely good guy, aren't you? End of transmission, sir. Guess you forgot about looking for the scrap. Yes, you forgot. Damn. So that just was a waste then, wasn't it? Big F. FTL. FTL style RNG. Can't kill them. Scavenge neon. 2. Very nice. So let's have a look at the local system. So we're here, and there is the shipyard. A civilian ship, sir. Please, you have to help us. We're in a little dust-up with an Aki back there, and now our thrusters are leaking neon N. We tried landing, but the radioactive containment caused our landing gear to falter. Now we're trapped in here, getting sicker with every passing moment. Please let us on your ship. Message from sickbay. Sir, hope you don't mind, but I was listening in. We're equipped with a drone decontamination program, but it needs Neo-N to operate. Also, sir, our readings indicate extreme Neo-N particle containment on their ship. We can ease their suffering, but I'm afraid there's very little we can do beyond that. I think we should turn them away. There's nothing we can do. We've only got 3 Neon-N. Yeah. Turn the civilians away. You can't help them. We must do what's best for our mission. I'm sorry, but we can't let you on our ship. They're going to be big sad. Did you really just say that to a ship of dying civilians? Oberyn would be disappointed in you. End transmission, sir. Nothing that we can do. Some bad news, sir. Some crew members left the ship in a pod overnight. Guess they were unhappy with the way you treated those radioactive civs. Lose 2 commandos. Fair enough. We've got more. It's interesting. It's nice to see how, like, the ethics. That's something that, at least outside of the Captain's Edition for FTL, the game FTL didn't have ethics in it, which is nice. I'm a monster. I'm not letting radioactive people on board. I don't have enough, like, Neo-N. We've got our own agenda here. Right. Local system map. Or visit shop, even. Let's have a look here. So, we can get fighters back. Those are patched. Right, Neon-N. Hostage Fortune. The Juggernaut Frigate Mark 1. Massive damage bonus fighters. This unit movement cannot be altered by positive or negative effects in any way. Hull Driller. Unit cannot attack. Instantly destroys any asteroid when moving on its cell. Deals 80 damage to the enemy battleship without heat that can't be prevented or absorbed, then disappear. Not being adjacent to enemy battleship. So that's like a special frigate. Fighter Mark II Ghost. Activates a stealth mode. Cancel taking damage. Become invisible to enemies while active. First attack in stealth mode deals an additional 10 damage to the squadron or at least 15 heat damage to battleship systems. That's not bad, but it's very expensive. How do I fix this? 10 Neon-N for 20, it's a deal.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it 10 apiece? There's basically 10 fuel on scrap for 20 each. Back on the other page, it was 20 to fix. Try and figure out where I'm going. I am confused. So I do have some patched fighters on board. Getting squadrons destroyed in battle equals patch squadrons. Half HP when you send them back into battle. So how do I repair them? Upper tab in the upper right. Repair. Oh, I see. Here it is. Do I repair these? I feel like I should. I feel like I should just repair and then buy a little bit of fuel. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to repair this guy. Buy a couple of bits of fuel. And then I could buy this. I could buy that and then use it to replace the ones that I already have so that I have more frigates. Unit cannot attack. So it's just a Juggernaut. This unit can... Okay. The Juggernaut. So unit cannot attack. Right, okay, so it just outright cannot engage in combat. It instantly just... So it's designed for destroying asteroids, or for outright battering enemy battleships. Okay, so that's not really that good. It has its use, but it's quite niche. Okay, right. So local star map, we've seen, been conquered. Let's go and visit the star map, because we've visited everything in this system. Let's move on, because we've got to stay ahead. There's an abandoned auto factory and an army depot. 1 anomaly, a ground encounter, and 3 of those. So let's... Jesus. Try not to follow chat too much. Play it blind and learn through experience. Fair enough. Civilian ship, sir. Not more irradiated. Looking for good tech? I've got all kinds of good tech. All legally procured, of course. What are the chances that it actually works? Good. Real good. 75% good. Squadron dock, fuel scavenging. I've already got max fuel scavenging, so I don't need that. Navigation scanner. Squadron dock recovery upgrade. What is squadron dock recovery? Is that how quickly I can send fighters out again after they get destroyed? Right. I'm going to chance it. There's your scrap. Now this better work. Of course it will, Admiral. Have faith. I bet you we've been had. Oh, it's a risk. There you go. Checks out. See? What did I tell you? All my tech works 75% of the time. Squadron deck. Very nice. I had a good feeling about that one. Right, okay. So, we are here. Scavenge. Just 1 fuel recovered. I do see why you need to get it. This upgrade, otherwise you land yourself in a world of problems. Okay, local star map. Let's have a look then. So there's an abandoned auto factory. We'll go there first. See if we can get scrap from the ground expedition and then see what's at the army depot. Anomaly signal. Scrap a battleship, sir. Incoming transmission. Shiny ship you have. Think I'll scrap it when you're dead. A battle is imminent. Good luck. Okay, let's see what we're dealing with. We've got asteroids up ahead. All enemies you encounter have special abilities depending on their faction. Check the description of their core system for information about specific battleship technology. Core system. All allied squadrons are always in a patch state and cannot be repaired. Whenever acquiring a new squadron, it comes as patched, but with a 30% unit value as scrap. So that's not too bad. They've got auxiliary systems. Squadron recovery is twice as fast. They have 2 very damaged fighter squadrons. This does bonus damage against fighters, so we want to deploy probably just our frigate to start with, and then we can go from there. So let's do it. Let's get our frigate out on the field. Now, what do these asteroids do? Moving on this cell, 50% fee. Asteroid will absorb all damage dealt to this cell and its occupants until destroyed, so we can use it to hide. They don't have any weapons. Okay, I'm not going to send out any fighters just yet. I'm just going to send out my frigates. You can guide your units along using waypoints. To do this, select one of your squadrons on the battlefield and use control. Press that CMD key. Okay, so I can stay on defense here. I have deployed that fighter squadron. let's get in on these guys. These guys are engaging. Let's intercept these guys. Very nice. They're going to be sending more out. Let's get our guys up and over here together and get a shot in on their squadron bay. I want to shut it down as best I can. Very nice. Their squadrons are going to be taking a nasty hit. They've got drones coming out. I've got to try and screen my ship against their drones. Come in here and then engage them as they push through. Excellent shooting. Frigates are doing well. We can push around here on the right. Right-click on your squadron to recover them. Any damage they receive in battle will be repaired. Okay. Right-click on a squadron, undeploys the associated unit, and will free another unit squadron to be deployed. Okay, so they are pulling back. Getting ready with another shot here. Okay, they're sending out some fighter squadrons. I can deal with them because there's frigates. Very nice. Another weapon shot coming in. Let's destroy that squadron bay. Squadron bay is in a pretty bad spot. They're trying to get it repaired. Very nice engagement. Good job, Admiral. Here's a summary of the battle. 59 scrap. Excellent stuff. They are destroyed. Enemy anomaly. Warring battleship. Not too bad. Let's have a look there. So yeah, our fighters survived the engagement. Frigates did fine. Everything's repaired. Life is good. While they're being repaired, use another squadron. Okay. I'm getting the hang of it. Right, let's prepare an away mission. Scan planet. We've got 13 commandos. Abandoned auto factory, no major threats. Let's have a look here. Between 0. So there's a chance that the officer has to return injured. Between 20 and... We'll lose between 0... Okay, so there's a chance that we could lose all of our guys here. That was the postman. Interesting. So what can I do here? An abandoned auto factory. It would be probably best to send this lass on, wouldn't it? Our scientist. There's a chance she could come back injured. At least this lass will come back safe. But actually... Let me have a look here. So you will lose between 0 and 7 commandos. So actually this one's better, isn't it? Sorry, I'm misreading here. So you will lose between 0 and 7 commandos and 0 and 10, which means this lass on the right here, Seo Yun, is worse because we could lose up to 10 commandos. But this lady, we can only lose up to 7. She has a chance to find a little bit more scrap. And yeah, so we'll go with this lass. Launch expedition. Soldier's way better. Send them in. Let's see how we do. Danger encountered. Persuasion failed. Injuries. Lots of injuries. Abandoned auto factory. Put abort. Piloting and demolition. We get scrap. Continue. Resource cache. Piloting. Very good. Piloting. Very good. Lots of scrap. Danger. Sharp senses. A death. Couple of injuries. Danger, discretion, lots of injuries for our officer. I think we're going to beat... We could beat a retreat here. Line is secured, Admiral. You've seen our bio readouts. What do you think we should do? I think that's a retreat case. Darchin says continue. True, we won't get anything if we don't push on. I would retreat. Best retreat now. Retreat officer is at 2 life. True. All or nothing. Retreat will make you choose between commando or resources. Right. I think we stand to lose a lot of commandos here. Right. Beating the retreat means you have to choose between losing the scrap or the injured marines. Officer first. I did. Let's retreat. I kind of need the scrap, but losing 4 commandos is a lot. But technically, I've already lost 3, so technically I'd be losing 7, so I should leave the loot, shouldn't I? Just push forward and bring it all back. The officer was guaranteed not to die after all. That's good. Do you know what? Because it's my first time playing, I'm gonna go balls to the wall and see how bad it could be. Pretty bad, I imagine. We got piloting. Danger avoided. Didn't have fight. Piloting. Danger avoided. Extraction points. Okay, so it didn't get any worse. 3 losses and 148 scrap. That's pretty good. So we did lose 3 people, but it does mean that we have a lot more scrap to go to the army depot. We got lucky, yeah. Right, sir, mind if I have a word? What is it, Lieutenant? Sir, I was wondering if we might take a moment to mourn those who have passed away on our journey so far. Mourn for our own past lives, you mean? Well, yes, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think it could really help provide a sense of closure. But if my estimates are right, it will cost us a bit of scrap to hold a proper funeral service. Only 11 scrap. Give Hawks the go-ahead for a funeral. Sounds like a good idea, Hawks. Do what you can. Thank you, sir. I'll check back in with you when the service is over. Right, the crew ceremony is over. Of course, we'll continue to die, and maybe we'll need to mourn our future deaths too, but I believe the funeral was quite healing. 11 scrap, and potentially we could have, if we would have said no, we might have had more people abandon ship because of the lack of humanity on board or something, but it's probably worth it. Right, let's have a look at this. So, squadrons and weapons. And we can grab a couple of things here. So, Cannon Mark II, no effects on battleship, 35 seconds. We've got another Pierce Laser Mark I. We've got a H-beam, which slices across loads of stuff, does not affect battleships. So a lot of these are just for dealing with fighter craft. We've got a prototype Mark I cruiser. Takes more damage at short range, so this is a long range thing. Mark II Parasite. Deals massive damage bonus frigates. Gain control of attacked unit and disappear. Doesn't work against already parasited units. Charge only when attacking an enemy unit. Cancel taking damage. So, gain control of an attacked unit and disappear. Interesting. More like Dialogue Simulator, it's true. There's a lot of dialogue. But I don't mind that. It's world building. So we could get another Pierce Laser Mark I. This is the thing, right? We probably want to get a few more commandos, don't we? Because there's only 20 scrap, and we're always using them, so... Someone says an extra laser. Have I tried Homeworld? No, I've not tried Homeworld. The extra laser would be quite helpful. Okay, I'm going to go for 2 lasers. So let's see what I need to do that. So upgrades. Weapon system support. Or, there we go, a weapons dock. So if we buy an extra weapons dock, that gives me an extra slot for a weapon. I'm then going to visit the shop, buy the extra laser cannon, as it's only cheap. Equip it in here, so then I've got 2 laser cannons that can fire alongside each other. And in terms of upgrades, ground signal distress efficiency costs 75% of the loot. I'm going to grab one of them. Hardened hull, 125 hull integrity support, 2 officers, heat capacitor, 55 points of heat per room. Squadron dock, squadron recovery. Takes 9 seconds to recover a squadron. That's quite good, but I'm going to leave that. Let's show Stellar Systems information up to 1 jump away. We'll get that. And then we'll save 66 scrap and pay forward. That'll do for me for now. We've been everywhere here. Star map. Get commander. That's what I wanted to do. I did forget about enemy commandos. Yeah. Visit shop. Buy both the commandos. Grab 2 of them. We won't pay anything forward. We'll just earn as we go. Thank you very much to Citrus Jerry. 2.5 years of queue. Woohoo. Woohoo indeed. Right, star map. So we're here. Hostile system, local rulers are waiting for you. Their numbers prevent you from exploring this system. Okay. So I've really only got 2 options, really. I could go up here, which only has a couple of encounters. So if I go here or here, I'm going straight to the exit. Here or here, I'm going straight to the exit. But if I jump here, the system will become hostile after the next jump between systems. So what does that mean? Does that mean if I jump here, then it's going to be under enemy control? Is that what that's telling me? So if I jump here, the enemy are going to be there. It'll be hostile when you get there, so I want to avoid that then. So let's go to the place with 3 encounters. Yeah. And try and stay ahead of them as best we can. Alright. Not too bad. Let's take a look here. So we've got a civilian ship. Incoming message. Admiral... guessing reactor is unstable. Not sure. Message is completely scrambled, sir. I can't make the heads or tails of it. Sun must have fried their comm system. What do you want to do about it? If they've got a reactor problem, we're going to be losing 4 commandos. But if it succeeds, we could gain some people. People are saying, send it. Let's give it a try. Investigate the civvy ship. They could need your help. Let's check out the ship. Report your findings. On their way. Sir, I'm back. What did you find, Captain? The message was a warning not to come any closer. Their Neo-N reactor was unstable from high solar interference. It blew up, sir, and so did the civilian ship along with it. But there's more. We've lost our team, our men and women. They were on the civvy ship. They were gone. What were they doing on that ship, Captain? Unable to communicate with our ship, I had to make a snap decision given the situation. I thought they should board the ship and help the civvies get off. I made the wrong call, sir. I made the worst call that you could make. Trying to save the civilian lives, it was the right thing to do. Do you feel a little better to hear you say that? Thank you, sir. So we lost our 4 commandos. Jesus. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to try and drown the rest of these feelings in the strongest... Yep, so we lost 4 commandos.
Oh, yeah.
The wrong call, chat. The wrong call. It's true, though. You got to try, otherwise you end up losing commandos anyway for the lack of humanity that you showed. So you can't even really win in a situation like that. Let's jump here. We don't have any ground encounters that we need to do, so that's fair enough. An Imperial ship. What a relief. I thought you might be with the church. Those zealots are really freaking me out. You have to help us, Admiral. We're down to our last few functioning auto farms. Soon our food will run out. Ask Caliban about auto farms. Omni invented agricultural technology that plants and harvests crops so that the humans don't have to, giving your kind more time to waste time. Humans have stopped growing their own food? Humans haven't grown their own food for hundreds of years. Can you help us with our auto farm problem? Ask how I can help the colony. We no longer know how to farm, at least not soil like this. We have a ship, we're not looking for a ride, we just need some Neo-N to get off this rock. Ugh, that's a lot of Neo-N. I think I might be alright for this one. I'm going to give them what they need. It's only my first run, so I don't mind if I don't make it very far. I'm going to give them what they need. Neo-N is yours. I wish you a safe journey to another planet. Thank you, Admiral. There's a special place in the afterlife for you and your crew. I just know it. We lose 2 of that, but again, we don't want to lose any more commandos to a lack of humanity that we've shown. Let's get in on the anomaly. Let's see how we do. No hostile ship, at least. Passing through some magnetic interference, sir. Buckle up, could get bumpy. Oh dear. Got Chief for you. Sir, situation down here. There's an isolated fire at C9. The storm just must be to blame. C9, that's the primary squadron hangar, sir. We can put it out using neofoam, or we can let it burn knowing it won't spread to other sections of the ship, but suffering squadron damage in the process. Your call, sir. I don't have enough Neo-N, so let the fire burn out, suffering squadron damage. I understand, sir. So we've lost some squadrons, I imagine. So the fire burned out, which is good, but no surprise we suffered some squadron damage in the flames. Hopefully we'll have a chance to repair it soon. I hope so, Chief. I have a soft spot in my heart for that squadron. Killed a lot of scrappers, and I hope it will kill a lot more. So they've wrecked one of our fighters and our frigates. negative outcome. Punishing RNG it is, but, you know, you kind of have to explore it. So now we're jumping on to the final fight with a damaged fleet. Okay, let me see here. Close map. Let me see if I can... So I've got drones and fighters, and I've got 2 ship weapons. I'm just going to have to try and rely on that for a bit. Star map. Big boss fight. I'm guessing this is a big boss fight. Bloody civvies. Every choice is a bad choice. Here we go. Scrap a battleship. This one looks like one of Mother's cronies. Incoming transmission. A Talos battleship in my sector? Think you took a wrong turn somewhere, Admiral. Not that I'm complaining. Where is she? Where is Mother? You think I'm going to tell you just because your ship's all shiny and appetizing? That's my mom we're talking about. Okay. Prepare for a fight. Let's rock and roll and see what they have on board. So we've got lots... They've got a lot of asteroids covering their thing there, which isn't too bad. They've got a scientist, patched squadrons DPS, so yeah, their squadrons patched, so they've got really high DPS on their shit. They've got drones, and our guys are good. Okay, so they don't have frigates, which is bad. Okay, so we've got to deploy. Even though it's damaged, we're going to have to try and deploy our frigate and hope that it's enough. Right, let's get our frigate over here. Him over there. They've got no weapons. Power up weapons. Let's see how we go. Fighters are out. So they've got really high DPS. We're just going to have to live with that. I can't move for some reason. There we go. I'm not clicking the right keys, that's why. I needed to go that way, and then I need to get you up here. Get on him. You get on them. Weapons are charging. Good screening. Get over here, help out the frigates. Frigates are doing well enough. Come over here, start assaulting their ship. Let's go. Get in there, start assaulting their squadron bay. They're going to be deploying something else if I'm not careful. Drones are going to be coming out. Weapons, 2.1 seconds. Engage them. Let's shoot down their weapons array big time. Let's go for a shot on their hull as well. A fine hit. Our squadron needs to pull back. Pull back. Lost one of our squadrons. One of your squadrons has been wrecked and can't be used in this fight until patched. Our onboard mechanics can only patch the squadron up to 50% of its max health. That's fine. What have we got here? We've got drone bombers. That's why it got fucked up so bad, and those guys. Let's bring our ship back as fast as we can. We'll go for another shot if at all possible. Try and get those drones back if we can. 5 seconds until we can deploy. They're coming out doing some shooting. Let's get a fresh squadron of... Let's see, we've got another set of fighters we can take out. Good against drones. Let's get our fighter squadron out there. We're not going to make that guy back. Yep, frigates destroyed. Fighters are out. Let's see if we can destroy them. Another few seconds. Let's see. Shoot at them. Fire another shot at their squadron bay. Good shooting. Their squadrons are really badly damaged, but there's not much I can do. You should hide in an asteroid field. They're strafing our hull a little bit. Just dispatch. Let's see. They've got more fighters coming out. I'm just going to put some drones out. Just because they're on full health. There we go. Drones have made a successful kill. Let's see if we can engage on those guys now. Yeah, I should have tried to hide in an asteroid field. You are right. Again, not familiar with the mechanics, but we'll do okay. Let's see then. We're going to get... They're sending out a lot of drones, so let's see if we can get another fighter squadron out. More shots coming in. See if we can hit them and hit the squadron bay if we can. I've got to try and keep the damage up as best as possible, but it's proving to be quite difficult. Come on, I keep like misclicking. God, our drones are getting shagged. What a bloody fight this is. Right. Try and engage that if we can. We just got to keep working at their ship if we can. They keep healing. God, their explosions are owning us. Right, let's keep some damage on their ship. Let's aim for hull. Let's get double squadrons. They've got extreme damage. That was a fine hit. Pull out another squadron of fighter. Those are a fighter squadron, aren't they? So let's get, not that, but our drone frigate out. Let's get our frigate out. Get in on them. Sending out more fighters. Frigates should be able to deal with them. Round here to get them dealt with. Very nice. Weapons are going to be coming in again. We'll be able to fire another shot on there soon. Let's go for hull. And for weapons, fire. A good kill. So they've wrecked a drone Mark 1 and a fighter Mark 1, but we got 476 scrap. Good job. Jesus. Big oof. Right. Echoes. Chapter 1, Sector 2 of 3. Not bad. Right. Good stuff. No neon fuel remaining. Let's open star map and refuel. Wait and refuel. So there's no... We didn't jump in right at the star's entrance. Well, to be honest, I think that's a good place to leave it, because we've been going for about 2 hours. We beat the first sector. Probably end up having to restart it anyway, because we're going to be bloody dead, although we might be able to buy some fuel from here, so we could continue this run in the not too distant future. There's a shop, yeah, but we'll sort it out next time, because this brings the VOD nicely up to 2 hours. This isn't bad. I'm very clearly a noob at it, but I beat the first boss, albeit very expensively and at the cost of many of my fucking fighter squadrons, but we did it. We beat it. Everything's sort of wrecked and scrapped and damaged and stuff, but I mean, hey, what can you do? Recommended this game a while ago. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, thank you, Badger Lord, for the recommendation. A few people have said to give it a look. I don't know how often I'm going to be playing it. I'm going to be sprinkling it in and amongst my other games and stuff. But I'm glad people, you know, have enjoyed it somewhat. It's got an interesting story. It's got an alright art style. I do quite like it, and I like the world building of this sort of grim, like I say, dystopian future kind of thing. So I'm glad people have enjoyed it to the same level that I have. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you there. So I'm going to quit out. That should save. That should be a full desktop abort. Yes, it is. Big burp. Right, let's see who else is on at the moment. So we have Mr. Soviet's playing RimWorld, Edberg's playing DayZ, and Cyanide's playing iRacing. I think I'm going to pass you on to Mr. Edberg, who's currently playing DayZ on the ZF server. So do feel free to send in my best. Ready your cube armors, and I will catch thee in the not too distant future. Have a lovely afternoon, folks, and I shall see you back this evening for 8:30. Not sure if we're going to be playing Crying Suns or whether it's something different. I don't really know, but yes, I shall see you back tonight. So take care of yourselves, folks. Have a lovely evening, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.